Facebook is facing increased scrutiny from American lawmakers over its practices. Now the social media giant is planning to undergo a massive rebrand that includes changing its name. That's according to exclusive reporting from The Verge. Alex Heath is a senior reporter for the tech news website, and he broke the story last night. He joins us from New York City. Alex, what more do you know about what's in the works when it comes to this rebrand?
Sure. So this is a rebrand, to be clear, of the parent company of Facebook, not the Facebook Blue app that everyone knows so well. So that's staying the same, but I'm told that the parent company, which includes WhatsApp, some people may not know that Facebook owns WhatsApp, Instagram, obviously, and Oculus, their virtual reality division, that is going to be renamed. And I'm told the focus of the rename is to really position the company as a Metaverse company. And most people probably don't even know what the Metaverse is, but it's essentially Facebook's bet on augmented and virtual reality, futuristic technology. They want to be known for being not just a social media company anymore. And it's a pretty big shift for them that's coming next week.
We're going to talk about the Metaverse in a minute because I don't think the average Canadian who's watching this right now knows what the Metaverse is. And it's important, so we're going to talk about it in a second. But what are you hearing from your sources about why Facebook is doing this right now?
Well, there's obviously a lot of bad news about Facebook, which has been the case for several years now, but they're under incredible scrutiny for how their platform operates today. And I do think a bit of this is trying to reposition the company as an innovative company, a future-looking company. And I think it's something that CEO Mark Zuckerberg wants to have his legacy be, is this kind of metaverse concept and the fact that they will build it, or at least they'll try to. And I think he really wants to distance kind of the future of Facebook from the ills, I guess you could say, that the platform has wrought to date.
So, we've had extensive coverage here on CBC News about the whistleblower testimony where lawmakers were asking questions about, the practices of Facebook in the United States, about the greater impact on democracy abroad in other countries, as well as some of the harms social media may cause to whether it's some of their young users, whether it's some of their users with mental health challenges. As you said, it has not been a good stretch recently or, more broadly for Facebook in recent weeks and recent months. Is this in any way, shape, or form as part of a way to distract from all of those deep concerns that we're hearing about from lawmakers, from users, and from whistleblowers?
I think that's certainly part of it. I mean, look, next week alone, Facebook itself tweeted this. Over a dozen news outlets are going to report on some of these leaked documents that the whistleblower provided originally to the Wall Street Journal that are now being distributed to a lot more outlets. So the impact is going to be much greater on whatever that internal research shows. That's coming next week. Facebook reports earnings next week, and they're expected to take a business hit from Apple's ad tracking changes on iPhones. That prompt that you see when it says, do you want to be tracked when you open an app? That's going to hurt Facebook's business this quarter. At least it's projected to. That's next week. So, and then also Frances Haugen, the whistleblower, is testifying in the UK. So there's definitely some fortuitous timing here where they could potentially change the narrative a little bit, or at least add to it by kind of unveiling this grand new rebrand. And it is a big deal. I mean, this is one of the largest, richest companies in the world. And it's the first time they've done anything like this since the company was founded almost 18 years ago.
Okay, we promised we'd get back to Metaverse. So this is what Facebook apparently wants to focus on. Can you explain, to someone who might not be the most tech-savvy person who's watching this? They know what Facebook is, they know what Instagram is, but has never heard the phrase Metaverse before. What is this, and why would Facebook want to focus on it?
Well, it's funny, actually, because the term metaverse was created in a sci-fi novel in the 90s to describe people escaping a dystopian, apocalyptic real world for a virtual one. And
safety first.
a lot of the headlines now are about how Facebook is potentially, causing damage in the real world. What they're trying to do is build what Zuckerberg has called the embodied internet, or kind of a 3D immersive. There's versions of it today, like, say, Roblox, the kids' gaming platform, where you can hang out as an avatar and play games and hang out with friends, but it's on a 2D screen. Facebook is building glasses like mine with displays in them, and also virtual reality headsets that they think people will use one day just as much as they do mobile phones. And they're going to allow you to be very immersed in graphics in the real world and also be taken out of the real world. That's what they mean when they say the metaverse, and it's something they're spending billions of dollars on.
We are already seeing so much scrutiny, particularly from American lawmakers. There is some scrutiny here in Canada, but the real attention is from lawmakers in the United States. Do you think this shift is only going to attract more scrutiny to Facebook, and that if Facebook is trying to, introduce these, the glasses or other things to make it more entrenched in daily life of Americans, of Canadians, of people around the world, that it's just going to attract more scrutiny?
I think so. I think anything Facebook does at this point is going to attract scrutiny, and I think they've accepted that. I do think, like we were just discussing, people don't really know what the metaverse even means. So whatever this name is, however they come out and they describe it, I think it's going to take a while, and especially for regulators who are just now starting to understand kind of the impacts of the last 10 years of Facebook, to understand what the next 10 years looks like, especially when the technology is so kind of futuristic and really not here in a mass consumer way yet. So I do think they will get scrutiny, but I think kind of like how we've seen the last decade play out, it will probably take a while for people to really understand the impact of this technology.
Alex Heath will continue to follow your reporting, and we thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.